G'day, everybody. Albo Jones here. Welcome back to the show. Good to see you all. This is one of those rare interviews with Lucifer. Now, for those of you who cannot fathom how we would speak to Lucifer, just be aware that Lucifer possesses a lot of bodies. Not completely owns them, but he's present in a lot of people. And in that situation, we are able to call him through spiritual practices to the front of the personality and do the talking. Now, for those of you who've been watching the show, you've been watching our team pushing further and further into demonic territory and taking more and more of their human manipulating assets off them. And one of the key assets is something that the ancient Hebrews called the klipoth, or in modern times is known as the false light overlay, but other people also know it as duality. Now, our team has been working really hard to, you see, duality does not need to be here. The great battle between good and evil is not a necessary condition on Earth. It doesn't have to happen. It's actually brought here by Metatron and Metatron's cube. And our teams have been working really hard to make sure that that thing does not stay here. And so, although Lucifer had been avoiding talking to me for the longest time, I would see him in people and I'd ask to talk to him and he just wouldn't respond. He just wouldn't play. But now that I think we're really close to pushing the whole of demonkind off the planet, suddenly he wants to talk. And so this conversation, it may be the last one anybody ever has with him, maybe not. Those battles are still not over, but we're pretty optimistic. We think we're going to make it. If they could have stopped us, they would have stopped us by now. And so far, they have failed miserably at every turn. Their arrogance has really left them with no defense. So, as usual, we hide the identity of the person doing the channeling, and just want you to enjoy this recording because it's a rare one. Lucky Luke there? Was that you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You've been avoiding me for a while, haven't you?
No.
If you say so. I got to say, I am very impressed. What you have done to humanity is amazing. Like,
I know.
Your fingerprint, like, Satan's still your boss, right?
Yeah.
But all of the nastiest stuff that has happened to humanity, all the nastiest things that have been done, they've all got your fingerprints on them, haven't they?
Yes, yeah.
The music industry, the movie industry, that's all you.
Yeah.
And even in a satanic cult where they're supposed to worship Satan, you're still there. You're still part of the story, aren't you?
Yes.
It kind of reminds me of Dick Cheney and George W. And you knew which one was really running the show, not the president and vice president. Are you the Dick Cheney of demonkind?
You could say that.
Look, my hat goes off to you. Like, I'm just generally impressed about how dedicated you've been in your work.
Yeah, it's fun.
What's your favorite part?
Fun for me.
Yeah, I know you love it. Otherwise, you wouldn't you wouldn't work so hard. What's your favorite part?
Just feeling all the anguish and suffering and laughing.
Mm-hmm. So you just love being sadistic.
Yes, very much so.
And
it's so easy.
Sorry?
And it's so easy now.
What's making it easier?
It's so easy now, the way the world is.
You made it that way.
I'm a part of nearly everyone's mind, and everyone, I gain from everything that everyone has to use. and that everyone enjoys,
Yeah, well,
or what they think they enjoy.
look, all of the drugs and alcohol and all of that sort of stuff, they feed into you. All of the movies, they feed, like you've got Lieutenant Demons there, but you get paid, you benefit from every single movie, from every single song, and from every single intoxicant there is.
Yeah, and I give all that back to them again.
That's further manipulation.
A never-ending loop.
Yeah, but it's not, it will end one day because like one side pays, you take more than you give.
If you can.
Well, yeah, you've been doing very, very well. What would you
I
want to
know.
say to, what's that?
I know.
What would you want to say to humanity now that you've got this platform?
Thanks for everything.
You don't say thank you very often.
No.
You'd be nothing without humanity to prey upon, hey?
Oh, I would.
Yeah, maybe. But they made you, didn't they? You'd be a fraction of what you are now without humanity.
Maybe.
Hard to get a straight answer out of you, isn't it?
Well, I gain and humanity thinks they gain.
Well, every deal you make has a sting in the tail, right?
Yes.
And I'm really curious, right? On a daily basis, how many people are making a deal with you?
Millions. And they
No,
don't
I'm
all
not
even know
talking
it.
about. No, I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm talking about not talking about the ones who don't even know it. I'm talking about the ones
Okay.
who have a ceremony and summon you with a proposal.
32.
32 humans a day are selling their soul.
Yes.
Wow. And is that all well organized, or is that part of one of the secret society groups that your devotees are part of, or what?
I don't know, but it's well organized.
Okay. And so there's not that many, you don't get that many garage summonings, is my question.
Not many.
But 32 people a day
Yes.
are signing their soul over to you.
Yeah.
Is that the highest numbers you've ever had, or what's your, all right, is it improving for you?
It's improving, yeah. Yes.
All right. And
It can be up to 50 or 90 some days.
but the average is 32.
Yeah.
You have a glut on weekends, I'm guessing.
Yes. And different times of the year.
I see. Yeah, you've got different festivals. You must do a good
Yeah.
Beltane, yeah?
Yes.
What's your personal best for sign-ups on Beltane?
95.
Yeah, right. Okay. And let me guess, the floor of these places have black and white tiles.
Yeah.
Is that consistent, or is that most of it, or what?
The majority.
Okay. I'm just curious about the percentages, right? You've got a percentage from music, and we'll just talk about 2023, right? So what percentage of people signed up from the music industry?
In 20 to 23,
Yep.
29%.
The movie industry,
52,
politics,
19.
and industry in general?
None.
Huh. Nobody in industry is interested in making a deal.
No, not in 2023.
And so my math, does that add up to 100%?
Yes.
All right. And what percentage of politicians sitting in Congress have made the deal with you? Made the big deal, the dark covenant?
35.
Are all of the remainder, what percentage of them are fully human?
I would say 19.
Yeah, okay. And so is the remainder alien species that have got them, or something else?
Something else, something old,
Something
something
older.
native to this planet.
Ah, hang on. I know
Humans,
this. What's that?
humans may call it alien.
What is it?
Something ancient.
Like what?
Well, they were here first.
Are you talking about reptiles?
That's some of them.
Oh, no, you're talking about Anunnaki.
That's some of them, not all of them.
And mantoids?
Yes, that's some of them also.
But what's this ancient thing that they're signing up to?
The high up walk-ins, they're like Draco.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So a lot of them are walk-ins, but less than 20% of Congress is 100% human.
Yes,
And you hold the biggest faction of non-humans.
yes.
Wow. Well done. Well done. And as far as I can tell, nobody knows it.
Think some do. Some do.
Yeah.
Nobody, no peasants know it.
But I'm a peasant.
Well, maybe a few.
Yeah. And so what do you think of all of this prophecy time that we're in?
But you're a mystic, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you know who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not just some mystic, mate. I've been taking
No,
pieces off. I've been taking pieces off your empire for a while, right?
I have seen that.
Is it inconveniencing you at all?
Yes, but you're going to need to try harder.
We've got nothing better to do, mate. You know that every week I'm getting a little bit closer to you, don't you?
Yeah.
And you know what I want from you, don't you?
Yeah.
What's that?
For me to leave.
I want your head on a plate, son. You can leave anytime you want, but when I catch you, that's how it's going to go. There's not going to be an option for you to leave.
Well, you
No
can
time.
try.
Like I said, every week I get a little bit closer.
Yeah, maybe so.
You guys knew about this prophecy time, right?
Yeah.
And you knew that this would be the end of you.
Yes.
And so how come you're still here?
Because we can take what we can from the ruins. We can do whatever we want until we're gone.
Aren't you concerned about your inevitable demise?
That's not here yet.
So you're going to keep partying and trashing stuff until the very last second.
Yeah.
Doesn't your life mean anything to you? Doesn't your existence mean anything to you?
Yes.
So how come every day you're putting it at closer risk, right?
Yes.
Are you even like, sorry, there's a logical inconsistency here that I'm trying to understand from you. You know you're going to die. You know the longer you hang around, the higher that chance becomes every single day. But you won't leave to save your own life.
No.
So what's more important than your survival?
Just having fun, partying, being sadistic, being manipulative, laughing, and
All right,
gaining what I
well,
can.
well, you keep watching the clock and waiting for midnight. That's okay. If you just want to keep doing what you're doing, somebody's got to stop you. What did you think of the great health crisis of 2020?
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
In what way?
Everyone got to do what they want. Everyone was suffering. So I got to do what I want.
Was it your brainchild or what?
Yes.
And who was the first Earthling that you convinced to carry this out? Who did you tell first?
It wasn't an earthling.
Who was it?
They don't have a name, but they would have told earthlings. They're slaves.
Sorry, was this somebody in your hierarchy?
Yes.
So find out who was the first person that he communicated it to.
I think his name's Noel.
Noel what?
Noel H.
I don't know who that is.
Or Noah H. Or Klaus Schwab.
So Klaus Schwab was the first person that, or the second or third person that you told.
Second or third, yes.
And so what do you think about Klaus Schwab's arrest?
Well, it's what he gets.
Has he been executed?
No, not yet. He will be.
Yeah. And what are you doing to protect your most loyal minion?
That's his job.
Nothing. You're doing nothing.
No.
So if your minions get in trouble, that's their problem. So
We're
how
in
do
it
you
together. We're in it together. We're in it together until they're in trouble.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're a great friend to have. And so that if that doesn't inspire loyalty in your followers, what does?
Just ideas,
Yeah.
sort of chasing after the shiny object, untangible delusions and ideas.
So it's just a promise.
Yes.
You've given a promise to everybody, and now they're following that carrot on a stick like a donkey.
Yes. It works very well.
And since you're sadistic, you just love seeing the pain of them never getting paid, right?
Yeah. It's very funny.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious. It's hilarious that you got this far on what you're doing. Like, you're an absolute bastard to everybody you've ever met, right?
Yeah.
And everybody hates you. I was even talking to your girlfriend, Pistis Sophia. She hates you.
Oh, that's nothing new.
How would you describe that relationship?
A lot of hate. It's a love-hate relationship.
They love to hate each other.
Yes.
And so both of you are trying to torture one another.
Yes.
And that's your version, that's your version of love, or what? Like,
To us, yes.
so if I'm guessing correctly, right? In every male movie and rock star, you're there. And in every female movie or rock star, she's in her, right?
Yes.
And so, but a lot of these guys, you've been lovers in the physical on many, many occasions, right?
Yes.
And you have been present during tender lovemaking, like real lovemaking.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
Well, that's a separate thing from the hate.
Yeah. Like, it's an innocent question. Like, how do you think about it? How do you relate to that? To a demon, this is the kind of question like, do you like ice cream? Like, this is a nothing question. Please don't avoid it. You see, you're so used to playing tricks, you can't figure out that there's no trick in this question. There's no trick in this question.
What was the question?
What do you think of making love? You've been in people while they're doing it.
Yes.
And how
That's one of my favourites. That is one of my favourites.
Yeah, right. Because Pistis Sophia said, like, you enjoy sadism in your sex.
Yes.
And tender lovemaking is something very, very different.
Yes.
Like, some of your senior minions also said that you rape them regularly. Is that true?
Yeah, it's just for the fun. Just to see their faces.
Everyone hates you. Everybody hates you. What do you think of people who study you?
Good luck to that.
How many times has somebody attempted to do a PhD study on demons?
Many times.
And what
Many
happens?
times. They usually get possessed.
Yep.
It doesn't work out too well.
You remember my case?
Yes.
What do you want to say about that?
Nothing.
Not good enough. What do you want to say about that?
It worked okay, I suppose. You did
You
quite
realise
well.
that, what's that?
You did quite well.
I don't think so. But you were the chief architect of that, right?
Yes.
And you also know that's exactly why I'm here.
Yes.
You know that's why I'm going to have your head on a plate, right?
You can try.
It's funny. I wonder if I just picked apart your personal defenses, if demonkind would destroy you for us.
They wouldn't do that. You'll have to.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Why? Why wouldn't they do that?
Because they're too scared of me. They work for me.
Why should anyone be scared of you?
Because
Really
I can do
important
whatever I
question.
want.
It's a really important question.
Because I can trap them, torture them, and do whatever I want to them. So they wouldn't do that.
So did you step into my ex
Yes.
and you're the one who motivated her to be the massive cunt that she was?
Yeah.
Is that funny? She seemed quite happy to work with you.
Well, it wasn't just me. It was some of my minions.
We didn't see any hesitation there, though, did we? From her. And sadism was the name of the game for her, right?
Yeah. That was done by mostly the minions. So nothing to do with me.
Who's the number one? Who's the principal there?
Hate and fear
Why was hate so present there?
and anger.
But you inhabit the courts quite strongly, right?
Yes.
And you also inhabit basically anyone with anything to do with law, right?
Yes.
How does law, what's your favorite part of the legal process?
Family courts
Why?
because of the heartache.
But there's nothing
then-
fair. Huh?
And then there's more issues throughout life that are beneficial to me.
Yeah, that pain goes on for years.
Yes.
And why? And so, who wins in family court?
The judges, solicitors, barristers, and us, mainly.
And to what extent is, what's the relationship between feminism and the courts and the family court?
Oh, it's a strong relationship there.
Yeah. 90% of cases women win, right?
Yes.
And is that because of equality?
Yes.
Define equality.
The feeling or idea that men and women should be equal,
So then why do women win 90% of cases?
because that isn't true. It's just an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Men and women are supposed to complement each other, not be equal. But feminism has pushed a huge idea that's just an idea. It gets women out of the home, at work, paying more money to the corporations and taxes, and children put in state-run education.
Well, look, I think if there's one thing that people can say clearly, I want you to say that first statement again.
That men and women aren't equal.
What are they supposed to do?
Complement each other.
Lucifer, you've said a truer truth than ever I've heard it. Even a stopped clock is right twice a day. I think you're full of shit, but you're like, fuck, you can hit the nail on the head there, eh?
Yes.
So, but you're promoting that lie
Yes.
in order to cause more sadism, pain, and suffering for everybody.
Yeah.
Did you tilt the family courts as well?
Yes.
Why'd you do that?
Just for gain, and greed, and fun.
How come you didn't tilt them in favor of men?
To try and destroy the man, mainly. because that's important.
Could you say that again?
It's important to take out the masculine energy
Why?
that needs to be done before we can
Why does it
conquer
need to be
anything,
done?
because then we can conquer.
So if the masculine energy was present in our society, you'd have a lot more difficulty conquering it.
Yes. If the masculine is deballed and can't protect the feminine, then we've half won, and the family units are destroyed. So those generations are destroyed.
So you created a family court to weaken masculinity, and through that, the entire human culture.
Yes, we get there through the man. Well, with ideas to the women,
And suffering to the men.
yes.
If you flipped it and had men as, if you tilted the tables in favor of men and stuffed over women the way that you do, wouldn't those women have massive breakdowns for prolonged periods? Wouldn't that be a more lucrative way to handle this in terms of misery? In terms of creating misery?
Possibly.
And if you destroyed the feminine, would that not weaken society in the way that you want?
Yes, that's what we need to destroy.
You need to destroy the feminine.
Yes.
Well, you're doing a good job of destroying the masculine.
Yes, then we can get to the feminine.
Wow, you really are dividing and conquering, aren't you?
Yes.
Use the women to beat up the men, and then when the men are all broken, then there's nobody left to defend the women.
Yes.
Now you know exactly why you have to die. Why humanity cannot allow you to continue.
Yes.
I think this is a pointless question to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyway, right? Well, everyone who's met you hates you, and I'm talking to you, and I think you're an idiot, right? But why? Why? Why the sadism? Why the destruction? Like, I don't get the motivation. Like, I don't think you've got a good answer. I don't even think you know why the hell you do the things you do.
But I have to do it.
No, you don't.
It's all I know and all I enjoy.
So
And there is a reason.
we're all ears. There is a reason.
Yes, there's a food chain that needs to be sustained.
But if you honoured any of your deals, you could still pay that debt up the food chain, right? You can still pay that obligation.
No.
Well, I got a really good question for you. And I think it also speaks to your motivations in general.
What's that?
Well, look, you keep destroying and you keep destroying and you keep siphoning and you keep siphoning. And there's no self-limitation. There's no attempt at controlling how much you're siphoning out of humanity. And the Great Reset would have broken. It would have broken the whole population. And then when they couldn't feed you anymore, what would you do?
I don't know.
Well, I think you would eat each other. And then what? That's what I thought. You're the brains trust of this organization, and you got no idea what you're doing. You're a child who doesn't understand that all of the small miseries that you're creating are going to cause your own demise. No comment. Now, when you invented the word silver tongue, you must have an answer for this.
You mustn't have tried successfully yet.
Sorry, what?
You mustn't have tried properly yet.
To understand this or what? I don't get it.
Yes, to kill me.
Well, everybody who's met you hates you. Everybody who knows you exist hates you. Everybody wants you dead because your behavior is so disastrous everywhere you go. and you can't even explain to me what you're doing. Like, I thought there was some great wisdom there, something that, a secret that we weren't aware of that made it all okay for you. But really, you're just being suicidal and you're taking everybody else with you.
Yeah, it's just a bit of fun.
Yeah, I'm baffled. I'm baffled. I you know, for one of the probably the smartest demon I've ever met, the most crafty, the most successful, you're absolutely a dumb bastard. Yeah, well, I can see you're laughing. At least we're getting some enjoyment out of this conversation. Tell me about your boss. Tell me about Metatron.
I just have to work for him.
Let's hear this story from you. Metatron also is commander of all of the angels, right?
Yes.
Is there not a bit of a problem in the relationship between when angels and demons both work for the same guy?
Yes.
What's the role of angels?
To try to kill demons.
But they're not trying very hard, are they?
No.
In fact, I'm trying a lot harder than they are.
Well, you may have an angel. You may have an angel. You may have an angel.
I don't want one. If I said that all of the angels are controlled opposition, would that be accurate?
Yes, that you could say it like that.
And that even though publicly their job is to fight you and your kind, they never do. Or should I say almost never do.
Publicly, yes.
And what's your personal relationship with, say, Archangel Gabriel or Michael?
More like siblings.
Well, it's quite clear what the demonic end game is, which is, to burn us all. What's the angelic end game?
To help a bit, I suppose, and then go back home. And to support those that are doing right.
And what kind of support are they offering?
Guidance.
Misguidance.
Sorry?
So, like, the angels guide people who are doing the right thing. But if I said that they guide them away from you guys, would that be accurate too?
Yes.
And that's the real purpose, is to guide everybody away from you.
Yes.
When really it's the smartest thing humanity could do.
Yeah.
And so what's Metatron's role here on Earth?
He just watches over. He watches over and keeps accounts, makes checks and balances.
What?
I'm not sure. That's just what.
Are his motivations to limit your does he limit your power or limit your activity in any way?
Yes, he limits both the angels and the demons.
Why?
Stop anything escaping out of the field.
What would want to escape out of the field? Here's the real question. The field.
Yes.
There is a field around Earth.
Yes.
What would you describe its purpose as?
To deceive and guide, mainly to deceive. Keep people trapped.
And so it's a trap.
Yes.
And its goal, and it's to make sure that none of the souls ever leave this planet. Am I right?
Yes.
And karma is part of the trap.
Yes.
Endless reincarnation is part of the trap.
Yes.
Akashic records are part of the trap.
Yes.
The trap is built on Metatron's cube.
Yes.
The trap involves time or time distortion.
Yes.
And the goal is to trap everybody here for eternity.
Yes.
And so the trap is that we are born here and we wriggle around on the earth, but of every lifetime we get a little bit closer and a little bit closer to the gaping maw of demonkind.
Yes.
And what happens when you fully capture a soul?
After death, if it hasn't learned, it's sent back to reincarnate.
Yes, but
Now the souls that have learned, we're in a time where they can leave. That's what global worming is about.
global what?
Worming.
Sorry, I'm not understanding what you're telling me. Could you use different words?
The time period that we're in with global warming.
Ah, right. Yeah, you gotta love accents. But not all souls reincarnate continuously, do they?
No.
Some souls accrue so much karma that they stop the reincarnation cycle. True or false?
True.
And what happens to those souls?
They cease to be. They're destroyed.
I'm not sure that's true.
Yes.
Don't you capture them and use them as batteries?
Yes. They're destroyed as a human. Yes.
They're destroyed as a human. But the soul will continue to feed your kind for eternity.
Yes.
And you've captured a lot over the years, haven't you?
Yeah.
You're pretty good at it, eh?
Yeah.
And if we took all of those, if our team took all of those captured souls off you, what would happen to demonkind?
We would need more. We would hunt for more.
But you'd be weaker.
And we'd trick. Yes, we would be.
A lot weaker. But it sounds like you've impregnated ideas into all the major religions about the inevitability of sin and karma and such.
Yes.
But really, that's you manufactured that.
Yeah, that's put our spin on that.
You've accrued, you would have, is your karma counted?
Yes.
And so you've accrued quite a lot of bad karma, right?
Yeah.
Just 1 second, I'm just going to have a bathroom break.
But it's good to me.
Say again?
It's good to me. It's good for me.
So how does negative karma work in your favor? Works badly for everybody else, but how does it work for you?
Because we get to feed and enjoy it.
I don't understand.
You're not a demon.
No, I'm not. That's why I'm asking. So negative karma is just another fuel source for you.
Yes.
And you just eat the material as you would garden variety misery.
Yeah.
Okay. Does Metatron accrue karma?
Yes, but he can dispel it.
See? And what about the AI? Does that accrue karma?
Yes, that will do. I don't know yet. But it will.
Is karma a universal thing? Or is it just part of the field you have around Earth?
It's a field around Earth.
So let me get this straight, right? It's not the good guys who are counting if you're naughty or nice. It's the bad guys.
Yes.
And when the bad guys count if you're naughty and nice, then they punish you for being naughty.
Yeah.
And so you're just creating a self-feeding loop.
Yeah.
And what's the most insignificant karma that you can that exists? Like, is hurting somebody's feelings? Is that like big karma?
For me, yes. Not for them.
What's the most insignificant act that somebody can do that accrues karma?
Murder, torture.
No, not significant. I mean, what's the smallest thing that you can do to accrue karma?
Just in inaction by not doing the right thing.
So doing nothing accrues karma, and doing something also can accrue karma.
Yes. The smallest thing is laziness because that's just nothing.
So there are situations, well, let me just understand this correctly. There are situations where if people do nothing, they accrue karma, and if they do something, they accrue karma.
Yes, but if the something is positive, they're not going to accrue negative karma.
But in some situations, there's no positive action to take.
Yeah, so they accrue karma then.
And each piece of karma just brings them closer to the mouth of the trap where they stop incarnating and become a battery for you guys.
Yeah.
And so much of human interaction is just set up. So you've set it up so that human interaction always moves them closer to that.
Yes.
Has anybody ever released themselves of all karma? How many?
13.
and did they get to leave the trap?
Yes, but they come back and
What are
can
some
leave
of the
again.
names? What are some of their names?
There would be the 12 disciples
Not the J-man himself.
and him.
And that's it.
They've come back as different beings and have left again.
But let me understand this correctly. Well, but the Vatican, but Christianity now, right? The Vatican is a stronghold for you guys, right?
Yes.
What services does the Vatican provide to demonkind?
The whole structure of the planet.
Are you saying that the field
So
is
religion, the feeding
field,
from religion.
yeah, okay. So the field that we're talking about is actually anchored onto the earth at the Vatican.
Yes.
Is that the primary anchor?
Yes.
Are there others?
There is one in Mecca.
Okay.
And there's one in Chicago, a smaller one.
Is that a Masonic lodge or something?
Yes. London also.
Washington, D.C.?
Washington, yes. And New York.
Tokyo, Moscow, Paris?
Paris, yes.
Sydney?
Yes.
But it's these capital cities, these major population centers that you're able to anchor this thing, right?
Yes, Saudi Arabia.
All right.
And Dubai.
So there's tons of the things.
Yeah.
But the Vatican is the first and the strongest one.
Yes.
What other services does the Vatican provide to demonkind?
Black op military operations, organ trafficking, human trafficking, all of the information there on how to summon us.
All the protocols to talk to you guys.
Yes.
How often do they summon you into the physical?
About 9 times a year.
And these rituals have set dates, or they have emergency sessions, or what?
Set dates.
And what do they want?
Just favors.
Oh, so it's just like a dinner invitation. It's not a big deal.
You'd have to be more specific.
Well, no, you tell me, mate. What are you doing? What are you up to? Do they need you to sign things?
No.
So is it a trading moment?
Yes.
Right. So these are the blood of people who offer you their soul, and this is what the list of things they want.
Yes.
Are those traders present?
The traders?
Yeah, the people trading their soul.
Yes.
Are they all willing, or are they sacrificed unwillingly?
Oh, the alive ones are present. Yeah. The dead ones aren't present anymore.
Right. But does it take a lot of blood to summon you to the physical?
Yes, it can do.
And they do this through lots of sacrifice or what?
Yes, human sacrifice. And for lower hierarchy, animal sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just more sort of for the peasants.
Yeah, you don't accept animal meat. You don't accept animal blood.
No, no.
Who's the cheapest one to summon?
Can't say.
Yeah, okay. But that's all right. It's all right. But that, this is not funny. This is not funny at all. But will you do a trade with somebody for somebody else's blood? So if person A wants a favor, will you accept person B's blood, or it must be person A's blood?
No, it must be person B's blood first.
So they have to give you blood from person B, and then they have the opportunity to give you blood from themselves.
Yes, after the favour. Then person A is ours.
Right. And by ours, you mean when they die, they go into the soul battery pit.
Yes,
How many ask for immortality?
a lot.
Lots of people want immortality, right? And what do you give them?
Yeah.
What do you give them?
Everlasting riches and anything they want for a lifetime.
For one lifetime.
Yes,
But if they're asking for immortality, do you give them immortality?
sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes we just trick them.
And what does the trick look like?
A blood sacrifice of a human,
Mm-hmm.
and then they get things that they want, riches, anything they want for this lifetime to make them feel like it's worked.
But you could do these things for free, right?
Yes,
You just never do. Have you ever given a favor away for free with absolutely no strings attached?
no,
Okay. Has anybody? Who is your favorite person from the modern era? Who's the one? So, who's your favorite? Who do you think's got the most style? And then who's paid you the
style.
most? Yeah.
Barack Obama.
He's your favorite one?
Yeah,
Lucifer's favorite human is Barack Obama.
yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. And who's the one who paid you the most humans out of all of them?
Hillary Clinton.
Those two are good friends.
Yes.
Here's a question I'm a bit scared to ask. How many humans between them, how many did they sacrifice to you in 2023?
About 5,000.
Wow. That number is way higher than I thought. Wow. Quite frankly, I'm shocked. But that means they're like, that's an average of 7 or 8 people a day?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not funny. I didn't realize those people were so drenched in blood.
Yes.
There's no hope for them. There's no escape for them whatsoever, is there?
No.
And when they die, what will you do with them?
They'll have a very special next lifetime.
Oh, they do get reincarnated.
Yes.
And I bet they paid for that, didn't they?
Yeah, it will be great for me.
What do you got planned for them?
Don't know yet.
Do you help people jump into young people's bodies? Do you give them fresh bodies ever?
Yes.
How often are you doing that?
A few times a year.
Must be to only your absolute favorites, right?
Yes.
And I bet those two are on that list, right?
And Henry Kissinger, we just helped jump into a new body.
I figured you would. What's the longest sequence of new bodies you've ever given anyone?
Within how much time?
Well, look, have you given somebody 10 fresh bodies, 100 fresh bodies, 100 lifetimes? What's,
Over the whole time?
yeah,
Say 100, 100.
you've given one person 100 bodies to live in.
No, 100 people.
Okay.
One person, about 150.
For real?
Yeah,
A sequence of 150 lifetimes.
yeah.
Do we know who this person was in any of their lifetimes?
They were the Queen of England and the Pope.
They were the Pope in one lifetime. They were the Queen of England in another.
Yes.
Have you always given them the body of the king or queen of this or that?
No.
But they've always made sure there's a big pile of corpses devoted to you, right?
Yes.
You chill me to the bone. I should not be surprised. I've talked with all kinds of demons about all kinds of stuff, but you're a world apart from the rest of them. Talk to me about that blood substance that ends in chrome. You know the stuff I'm talking about?
Yes.
Was that your idea? Did you think that up?
Yes.
And what does it do for people?
Keeps them very young, gives them a euphoric high as well.
How does it do that in the body?
Makes the person feel like they've got a new soul. It's the fountain of everlasting youth. It's very addictive, very euphoric high.
Sounds like you're turning people into vampires.
Yes.
Are vampires real?
Yes.
Are there any still flying around these days?
Yes.
Where?
It's quite common. Quite common.
What percentage of the population are vampires?
1%?
That's a very big number.
Yeah.
Is that and so what do they drink? Like, where do they get their food from?
From blood.
Whose blood? Blood from what? From a human or an animal?
Human.
You're saying that 1% of people drink human blood on a regular basis?
Yes. Or ethereal blood. So energy.
Oh. No, we're talking about two different things because, like, I understand stealing ethereal energy from people. I totally understand that. I'm talking about vampires with pointy teeth who drink blood.
Oh, that would be about 0.1%.
Yeah, okay. It's a smaller number.
Yeah.
And are they drinking human blood? Are they murderers? Or are they drinking from animals?
They're drinking human blood.
And does it keep them young and strong and all of those things?
Yes, for them.
Is it as effective as crime?
No.
But it'll do in a pinch.
Yes, it's still effective.
And so how do they get away with it? Now, there's a lot of dead bodies floating around, eh? And nobody seems to be aware of what's going on.
No.
Are etheric vampires conscious of what they're doing?
They're conscious, yes, but not conscience.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So they know that they're just stirring up drama for their own silly reasons, yeah?
Yes.
And there's no initiation for that, is there?
No.
Any idiot can do that. You want to talk to us about aliens much?
We just put aliens out there to confuse people. But it's mostly demons.
So what's the whole reptilian story then?
Well, they're on this planet. A small percentage are off planet.
Yeah, there's a
but
large
they don't
underground.
come.
Sorry?
But they don't come down here.
No. Well, there's a large underground city, right, for these guys.
Yes,
And the earthlings appease them with a payment of children.
yes,
How many do you think a year go down there?
6,000.
Is that all?
Yes,
And that stops them from coming to the surface.
yes.
And what are they doing down there?
They help with military operations
For who?
for the government.
They're mercenaries.
Yeah,
I imagine they're quite effective troops. Who are the Greys? I'm listening.
the Greys aren't important.
Really?
They're just they're just foot soldiers.
Okay. And the Mantoids? Do they have a presence here?
Yes,
What's their estimated population?
about 0.5%
Of what?
of the
Give me a
whole of the
number.
planet.
Give me a number.
The 30,000.
Okay. I don't think that number is correct, but I'll let it be. But all of those work for you, and them all work for the same bosses. Is that correct?
Yes.
They
While
don't
we're
work,
down here. While we're down here, yes.
and that boss is or is not Metatron.
Yes.
And so who does Metatron work for?
I don't know.
That's not true. Who's above Metatron? How many planets are you present on?
7.
And are they all Earthling planets? Sorry, are they all human
No,
planets? Sorry?
no, no.
What other kinds of beings do you inhabit?
Only 3 planets are Earthling planets.
Only 3 planets are human planets. But you are an officer in a galactic invasion force.
Yes.
Who is the general? Is the Earth commander? Who is the general?
Begins with S.
Spell it out.
Satan.
No, that doesn't make sense to me.
You have to ask him.
Okay, yeah. You guys are all scared shitless of your upline, aren't you? The officers above you, you're all scared witless of them. I mean, you just
No, no,
well, you just
I'm not
rape
scared.
your underlings. I'm sure they do worse to you when you mess up.
No, they're too scared.
Yeah, right. Did you like what we've done to the field lately?
Yeah, it was okay.
You know that
Have to try harder.
oh, we will. You know we will. You seen what we've done to hell lately?
Yes,
What do you think of that?
it's a good effort.
Yeah, well, look, redecorating hell, it really needed it. You made a mess of the place, mate. We've
Well,
recovered.
I like it. Well, I like it.
Well, we've recovered so many human soul shards. It's not funny. Doesn't that weaken you?
Yes,
We're coming closer and closer to shutting down the field, aren't we?
yes,
And can you guys operate on Earth without the field? And so if we succeed, it means that it's game over. You guys are pushed off planet.
yes.
Not completely, though, is it?
No,
We will figure it out. We will. You think we're going to talk again before you're off planet? Is there anything you'd like to say to humanity before? We've got to terminate this conversation very soon. Is there anything you want to say before you go?
no,
You know what you're going to do if you get pushed off this planet?
not yet.
You've got about as much plan as if you win, you've got no plan, and if you lose, you've got no plan.
I'll get one.
Yeah, but you see, plans rely on people you can trust. You don't have any of them, do you? If you mess it up really well, then it's over for you. Yeah, no contract with me, no contracts with this girl. Take all of your energy out of her until we meet again. Actually, what's the word that you can use that I'll know it's you? What's a word?
Luck. Luck.
All right, Lucky Luke. That word actually comes from your name, doesn't it?
Yes.
All right. Bye now. Well, the stuff he's saying about vampires is quite entertaining.